It would seem that Nintendo is going to war against people who pirate their games or run rings where they teach people how to circumvent their security measures and run their games early. Now, anybody who knows Nintendo knows they are very litigious, and there's actually two court documents that we can take a look at to just see what is going on here. Does Nintendo have a strong case? Let's get into it. Well, let me spoil it for you. Not only does Nintendo seem to have a very strong case, but they even warned at least one of the people to stop what they were doing, and they kind of shrugged it off after Nintendo contacted them. So the most recent story comes from GameFile. Apparently, Nintendo is seeking new targets, people looking to pirate their content. And it said Nintendo is not close to being done with its legal crackdown on Switch modders and others whom it accuses of fomenting piracy. In a recent filing in federal court in Washington state, Nintendo of America said its investigation of Switch modder James Archbox Williams has given it new targets. They include a Switch Pirates subreddit with some 200,000 members, GameFile has learned. Nintendo sued Williams in June over piracy claims, we'll get to that in a second, and his alleged operation of so-called pirate shops. The company subsequently won a default judgment after Williams failed to represent himself in court. Before cutting off communication, Williams had denied to Nintendo that he'd infringed on their intellectual property. During its investigation, Nintendo told the court last Friday it became aware of multiple other online actors who appeared to have a role in the pirate shops. So long story short, Nintendo, in investigating all of this, found I don't know if you want to call it a ring, but a large network of people who are looking to circumvent their games and access their games illegally, either early or via mods, not mods. What are they called? ROMs. Here's a little bit more info. I actually went through and I wanted to look at these court proceedings. So this one sort of talks about what they were up to. As alleged in the complaint, the defendant and other unnamed individuals created, operate, oversee, promote, and assisted others in creating, operating, and promoting a network of download extensive libraries of pirated video games for the Nintendo Switch console. Additionally, Nintendo of America alleges that defendants and other unnamed individuals knowingly trafficked in malicious and unlawful software products that are designed to and have no purpose other than to circumvent Nintendo's technological measures that protect against the unauthorized access to and use of Nintendo Switch games and the Nintendo Switch console, the circumvention software. Defendant and those that worked in concert with him operated under aliases in their activities related to the pirate shops and the circumvention software. Now, a big reason I actually like to look at the court documents and see what they're saying is because I'm like, well, how solid are these cases? And in this case, Nintendo is still looking to request discovery from Mr. Williams, who they are in legal proceedings with. And what's really interesting is they make a list of the places that they want to investigate. It includes Namecheap, Two Cows, GoDaddy, Cloudflare, GitHub, Discord, Google, Reddit, and others. Nintendo is obviously seeking to sue this person, and I do think that they have an incredibly strong case. And part of that could reveal many others in that particular Reddit community who may have participated in piracy. This is a big deal. Nintendo is basically going to be going after anybody who has ever pirated their content over the last several years. And right around the time some of the Zelda releases came out, a lot of people were involved in that. So I do believe that Nintendo is basically looking for the names of anybody who has participated in any sort of piracy. And this is one of the biggest crackdowns I have ever seen in litigation. And I'm cracking down on how often I say, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, hit that like button if you're already subscribed to help the content get shared. So let's rewind in time a little bit, though, to when Nintendo actually sued a streamer for streaming pirated software. So this doesn't stop with just the people making the ROMs and such. So Nintendo sued a streamer of pirated software for millions of dollars. The defendant has been streaming gameplay before the titles were even released. Now, a lot of people shrug this off because they're like, yeah, what a dummy for streaming all of these games. Of course, they're going to sue him. So here's what I actually did, though. I actually went and wanted to find the case in question, and I believe that this particular document is the actual case filing Nintendo has against the individual. It's Nintendo versus Keegan, and it's on Scrib because I don't want to pay $300 for a court document. And if you go through, you can see the documentation that they actually have of this person actively participating in piracy and broadcasting it to the world. Now, I know there's one particular screenshot that they have on page 21 of this document, but you can see here's his streams. Early release Mario and Luigi Brothership. Here he is live streaming it. Mario and Luigi Brothership, early release, first look. Now, the only defense he could actually have is that, hey, maybe there's a chance that he got an early copy from one of those mom and pop shops that released it earlier. Check out what he said when he was actually hit with a DMCA. I have 1,000 burner channels. And he said he can do this all day, like he's one of the Avengers or something like that. Yeah, well, Nintendo has 1,000 lawyers that they can sue you with, and you literally gave them all the ammunition they could possibly need. If you actually look at just how big of a case Nintendo was built against him, this is a 47-page document, by the way. I'm just showing you some of the highlights. They have pictures of his stream, more streams, another stream of him streaming like early releases of his game RTX on. Yeah, right. Okay. Here is him actively playing and streaming an early release of Super Mario RPG Remake. It's literally the individual on camera streaming the game illegally. Like they have him, what's the saying? Dead to rights in this particular instance. And if we actually, so like there's a bunch more examples in here. If you want to go look, you can actually see what he said in response to the claim. The original content being struck here was significantly changed from its original source, so much so that in the video you can see where I am not even using Nintendo's hardware for presentation. I am using custom code, custom rendering. Ray tracing was added by changing the code of the game. He's literally admitting to So in his DMCA defense, he said, oh, I got the code, but I changed it so I'm good. I'm not necessarily a master at this, but when your stream says it's VSync dock 2x and you have all of this tech for the lawyers to look at, I mean, it's not a good, like this guy's going to get sued in oblivion. So it's a 47-page document. And if you actually go to the bottom, they are pasting what they're looking for restitution. Here it is. I finally found it at the end of all of the incredibly incriminating evidence. For an award of statutory damages pursuant to 17 U.S.C. 504 and 1203 in the amount of $150,000 per violation, arising from defendants' willful violations of Nintendo's exclusive rights under the Copyright Act, and $2,500 per violation arising from defendants' willful violations of the anti-circumvention and anti-trafficking provisions of the Copyright Act. In an alternative, pursuant to whatever, plaintiff may elect to receive actual damages as well as the defendant's profits from his violation in amounts to be proven at trial. Don't pirate games. Nintendo will come find you. They're going to have 47 pages of evidence. my hot take is there's no way this guy gets out of it. He live streamed himself doing it. He replied to emails from YouTube and from Nintendo that's going to be opened up in Discovery, and it's not a good look. And Nintendo is not done. We know they went after Pal World this year. They're going after all these people pirating their games. They're going after other companies, the Reddit ring, basically, that taught people how to pirate their games. They are not messing around, and they have an extremely strong case. This isn't like the Pal World situation where they took a year to copyright throwing a Pokeball and capturing a Pokemon before they filed the lawsuit. They have tons of information about how these games were pirated and what these users did to pirate the games. And it's unfortunately not looking good for the people that they are targeting. So just wanted to give you a quick synopsis. Nintendo is going to war against piracy of their games, and they don't seem to be shy about going after anybody. Even the whole Reddit community. It's kind of nuts to just see them flex their muscle in this way. So when the Switch 2 comes around, and that's largely what I imagine this is tied to, I would not even touch it. I like if you're in the not modding a piracy group or whatever, just get out of there, because Nintendo's coming, and I mean, their copyright was violated. There is a very good chance that they are going to win this court case. It is crazy. Say what you will about their monetary practices. I know a lot of people have problems with that, but it doesn't make it legal to take their games and play them. I think it's going to be a rough couple of weeks for anybody who's been involved, especially with the Switch piracy stuff. Anyway, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, turn on my content goes live. I was shocked about just how hard this Nintendo case went. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. If you want to become a member, thank you so much. Memberships like yours help this channel grow and continue. If you want to become a member, click that join button at the bottom. I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to get out of here. Check out my last video from yesterday where I talked about how Xbox's plans have been put on hold because of some other legal troubles. And I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now, everybody.